Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. The ruling Law and Justice Party has struck a deal with the opposition party, the Left, on the National Reconstruction Plan. The agreement is of importance because the ruling party's junior partner, United Poland, has stated that its members of parliament will not ratify the reconstruction plan. With the MPs of the Left on board, ratification is guaranteed, which will pave the way for EU fund payments from the EU's Coronavirus Recovery Fund.
Other opposition parties are outraged about the Left breaking out to support the ratification of the reconstruction plan. This law also concerns all the EU funds, 770 billion zlotys in total, according to the calculations made by experts. A large part of it will be used for various types of investments in the first 3 to 4 years, starting this year. This is how we recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. After some negotiation, the Law and Justice Party accepted some of the key points that the Left desired to be incorporated into the plan, including the construction of an additional 75,000 social apartments, funds for county hospitals, and that at least 30% of the money from the fund will be earmarked for local governments. We saw an opportunity for dialogue, which has been sorely lacking in recent times, and we will observe how the situation develops. We have agreed, ladies and gentlemen, that all these things that have been negotiated must find their way into the National Reconstruction Plan. MPs from the largest opposition party, the Civic Platform, call the Left's decision a betrayal. Today, the Left has betrayed the opposition. But not only has it betrayed the opposition, it has betrayed democracy in Poland in a sense. The ratification is expected to take place at the next session of the parliament, scheduled for May 19th to May 20th.
A spokesman for the European Union has stated that the European Union is absolutely not in favour of redrawing borders in the Balkans. The response comes after an unofficial diplomatic note surfaced proposing to break up Bosnia and merge Kosovo with Albania. The document, which has been seen by Reuters and has been circulating among European Union officials, proposes incorporating parts of Bosnia into Serbia and Croatia to help the region's European Union integration.
The topic of border changes has alarmed Bosnians, who see it as a threat to the country's territorial unity, 2 decades after ethnic conflicts led to war in the region. We are absolutely not in favor of any changes in borders, European Commission Chief Spokesman Eric Mamer told a news conference.
We are absolutely not in favor of any changes in borders. So I think that is something that we can put to rest once and for all. Whatever papers have come, will come, might come, or won't come, our position is very, very clear on this issue.
The EU's rejection came during an official visit of Serbian President Alexander Vučić to Brussels, during which he met with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen for a discussion on Kosovo and European Union Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell. Both Borrell and Vučić voiced support for the territorial integrity of Bosnia and Herzegovina during their joint news conference.
But I want to use this opportunity to underline the continuous and unequivocal support of the European Union to the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Bosnia and Herzegovina, well, as much as the other countries of the Western Balkans.
2 former Yugoslav republics, Croatia and Slovenia, has since joined the EU, while Montenegro, Serbia, North Macedonia, Bosnia, Albania, and Kosovo also hope to accede. The EU says they must first settle their neighborly conflicts and advance democratic reforms before they can join, but the bloc is keen to keep close ties with the region on its doorstep, where Russia and China are also building influence.
Russian prosecutors have ordered regional campaign groups supporting jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny to stop their activities pending a request to outlaw them and his anti-corruption foundation, representatives of the group said. A court ruling that the groups are extremist would give the authorities the legal power to hand down jail terms to activists and freeze the group's bank accounts, essentially forcing them to stop campaigning for Russia's highest profile opposition figure.
At a preliminary hearing on Monday, prosecutors asked the Moscow court to prohibit the groups from taking part in elections, organizing protests, or publishing anything online. The hearings are being held behind closed doors as the authorities have classified some of the case details, said lawyer Ivan Pavlov, whose legal team is handling the case. We believe that the organizations we represent did not break any Russian laws. We also understand that the trial targets not only those organizations named in the lawsuit, but also people who support those those organizations who watch the Anti-Corruption Foundation investigative videos, who provide them with money as well as moral support. The prosecutor has accused Navalny's group of plotting to destabilize the political situation and working to promote a popular revolution. The German government has criticized the use of anti-terror laws to silence political opponents. The German government condemns the decision of a Moscow court based on a request of the state prosecutors to ban the activities of Navalny's organization on suspicion of extremist activity. Using anti-terror laws against political opponents is in no way in line with the rule of law. Navalny was jailed in February for 2.5 years on charges he called politically motivated. The arrest was made just after his return from Germany, where he had received treatment for injuries sustained from an attack on his life with the nerve gas agent Novichok.
Apple has started rolling out an update of its iOS operating system with new privacy controls designed to limit digital advertisers from tracking iPhone users. For Apple's more than 1 billion iPhone users, the change will mean a new pop-up notification in some apps seeking their permission to collect data that Apple believes could be used to track their browsing habits across third-party apps and websites. The moves come as concerns are growing about the lack of privacy online.
For businesses, the rules could bring seismic changes to the nearly 100 billion mobile advertising market if most iPhone users decline to allow data collection. Though the exact impact remains a question, according to industry experts, Facebook stands to lose the most revenue from the changes. Apple's CEO Tim Cook explained the company's decision in a tweet, saying, "We believe users should have the choice over the data that is being collected about them and how it's used." Facebook can continue to track users across apps and websites as before. App tracking transparency in iOS 14 will just require that they ask for your permissions first. Apple is requiring app developers who want to collect a digital advertising identifier from iPhone users to show a pop-up saying that the app would like permission to track you across apps and websites owned by other companies. Some mobile advertising analysts believe that fewer than 1 in 3 users are likely to grant permission. iPhone owners also have a tracking menu in their phone's privacy settings where they can opt out of tracking from all apps on their phone with a single switch, or pick and choose amongst apps to which to grant permission. A shrinking pool of user data could lead to lower sales for brands and lower ad revenues for mobile apps and publishers.
It's a good change because part of the danger of the internet is losing your individuality and your privacy. And this allows you to still help advertisers make your messages relevant without telling them what you're doing Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m.
Apple's move have deepened a rift with Facebook, which has said the change will hurt small businesses because it will impede their ability to cost-effectively find local customers to target with advertisements.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programs. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.